Hey guys, Carly here. Hey guys, Carly here. It is Monday, April 17th, and I just want to take a second today and kind of like backtrack a little bit. I feel like I started this bikini series just assuming that you all have been following since the beginning, and I realize that's not the truth, or that's not the case. But I don't want to take up too much time, so I'm going to kind of touch on everything, but like just a little bit of everything, and then if there's anything that you want me to fully elaborate on, feel free, comment below, and I can do individual videos on that. So, I started, I guess, how far do I want to go back? So growing up, I was always super involved in sports. I was a soccer player, tennis player, basketball player. My main sport was snow ski racing, so I was a downhill competitive snow ski racer all through middle school, high school, and then in college I coached. So that was kind of the sport that I chose to take and run with, and I was training 5 days a week in high school and always had a purpose in the gym. So my gym workouts were always very focused for a specific sport or activity or whatnot. So that was kind of how I became introduced into, I think, health and fitness in general. My dad is a world competitor in water skiing, so I feel like within our household, health and, I don't even say nutrition, I think just health and overall like physical fitness was always very important, but not from, I think it was all more focused from an aesthetic purpose, not necessarily an aesthetic purpose, and then to better yourself in your sport. So it was never necessarily like, oh, this is good for you as an overall type thing. So my education on that and knowledge on that was very minimal. It was just, okay, I need to do this to further myself in my sport. So fast forward, that's in high school and college, I definitely got into, when it came to the nutritional side of things, into yo-yo dieting. So I got into the ups and downs, like getting ready for spring break, you want to look good in a bikini. I grew up on a lake, so wanting to, look good out in the boat or whatnot. So again, that physical and fitness and nutrition side of things was very aesthetic purpose. But the goal was always to, be as small as possible, or to get that scale to go down as low as possible. I don't think I looked at it from a health perspective or in terms of like the full like physique and package and everything. So that's a whole nother side story. I don't want to go into it in this video, but I had very, very bad self-esteem and self-confidence, and just my like self-worth I didn't take into account. I'm definitely a people pleaser, so I was doing things to please others, not just in like a health perspective, but just kind of in life. Like I wanted to impress others, being my best friends or my parents or a coach or something. So my mentality behind things was not the healthiest, in my opinion. So yeah, so now high school, college, prepping for that spring break or that summer or that bikini or whatever it may be. And then I was diagnosed with endometriosis. I have an entirely different video on that. I will put that below in the description box, because that was a huge turning point for me. Not initially. I definitely let endometriosis run my life for a while. I let it dictate how I was making my decisions for myself personally and emotionally and relationship and career and everything. I was 20 when I was diagnosed. So if you don't know what endometriosis is, I'm going to spare you the details. You can look it up if you would like, but if you are here specifically because you do maybe have endometriosis or you are affected by it in some way, again, check out that video below, because I do have more details on that and how I was diagnosed. But yeah, so at 20 years old, I'm basically being told like, hey, you have this disease that will affect you in a number of ways. So it's not like it's life or death or anything, but for a 20-year-old to find out, like, you might not be able to have kids, and you have this thing called endobelly, like where you just feel full all the time and your belly feels like it's sticking out and you're in pain constantly. So I'm kind of type A and I'm a planner, and so I started thinking, okay, how am I gonna, what are my next steps gonna be in life to make sure that this doesn't cause infertility or cause me to not be able to have the family and future that I want. So I kind of became very career driven and academically driven, and I had to get my life figured out. So about 3 years after that, I realized that I wasn't personally happy. So that is when I actually left my master's program and I started working for Club Med. So I started traveling and working for this international resort company. And it was amazing. Like, it was absolutely incredible. I started off as a wakeboard and water ski instructor. Because again, like I said, I grew up on a lake. My dad's a world competitor in water skiing. So I have a strong background in that. So I started working for them, became a wakeboard and water ski instructor, then moved into more of land sports. So I started teaching fitness classes, stretching, all of that. And you guys, this was amazing. I lived for 1 year in Cancun, lived for a year in Turks and Caicos, lived for a year in Japan. Like, I'm living on the beach. Japan was in the mountains. But anyways, I wasn't really a partier in college. I was in a sorority, but I didn't do a ton of drinking. I was still coaching on the weekends, so gone a lot. And then Club Med came around and, you know, I'm 23, I'm finally like letting loose. And I think that, like, I always was conscientious about what I was putting in my body. But again, my mindset was still the least I can put in, the better. I was thinking, you know, as long as my caloric intake was really low, then everything would be totally fine. So I just always got stuck into this mindset that you had to really calorie restrict, and I would compensate that with a ton of cardio, and I figured out my days were insane. We had 16-hour days, so I was always moving. But I was drinking a lot, and then I would have my day off. We'd have 1 day off a week, and you better believe I lived it up. Like, wherever we were living, I think my day off was specific. Like, I would plan out my meals. Like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go to this restaurant, we're gonna have this. Anyways, long story short, I just kind of let my body go. I still would work out every single day. Obviously, I was teaching these classes, but it was like one day I went and I put on a pair of like pants or a dress or something, and I was like, whoa, that does not fit how it should fit. But when you're in like loose beach clothes all the time, you don't really notice it. So anyways, you know, I went back into my yo-yo. Okay, this week we're gonna be really careful. We're gonna watch it, and it worked. It was fine. But then fast forward, I was in Japan, and we had a 2-month break, and I went and backpacked Thailand with my boyfriend and a couple of our really good friends, and I just blew up over these 2 months. So we did 1 month in Thailand, then we went to Vegas, I think we went to California, but I don't know what, I have no idea. I put on 20 pounds, like from where I was at before. So I put on 20 pounds, and this wasn't good weight. Like, this was legitimately, it was just going everywhere. Like, I was not comfortable in my own skin whatsoever. And I remember it was before going back to Japan for summer season, and I was talking to Emma, whom started Journey of Karma with me. So if you guys have been with us from the very beginning, Emma is the other half of Journey of Karma, and she is the most supportive, incredible, wonderful human being. And she is still alive, guys. She's still around. She is actually, this last September, she started her 3 years of her university. So in Canada, you don't have to go to university like right away. She took some time, figured out herself, went through college, went to Club Med, and then now she's back at university. She's absolutely crushing it. She's still in the gym, but she's focusing on herself. She's focusing on life, and I think that is so admirable, because it took me a long time to get myself to kind of focus on me and better me. So that is what she is doing. So anyways, Emma and I did not like where we were at. So we were in Japan together, and we decided so we got to Japan. This is in July of 2015. And we knew that we had 4 months left of the season. And at the end of that 4 months, we were going on a vacation. So again, guys, mental quick fix. We're like, okay, we have 4 months. We have 16 weeks. We need to get into the best shape of our life. We're going to be on this beach, yada, yada, yada. So as much as we were unhappy with ourselves, I think that our overall focus was still on being in that bikini at the end, but not necessarily for a part of it was definitely to feel good about ourselves and feel good walking around in our bikini. But I know for me personally, I'm not going to speak for Emma, but my mental state was still, I knew my parents were going to be there, and I was like, oh, I want to impress them. I want them to know that, like, I'm healthy and I'm taking care of myself. So that's where kind of this whole fitness journey began. So my focus prior to this was, you know, I was focusing on my sports, and that's why I was working out. Then it became, okay, I need to do these workouts. I need to lose weight. I'm going to be in a bikini. So we started the Ashley Bynes Booty Challenge, which was amazing, guys. Like, if you're looking for great workouts and just like killer sweat sessions, I will never write that workout off. It was 28 days straight, and it was absolutely amazing. Like, my butt was on fire 28 days in a row. From there, we started the BBG, so Bikini Body Guide by Kayla you know what I'm talking about. Again, incredible program. Like, you have to remember, we're working 16-hour days. We can barely find 30 minutes to sneak away. So knowing that we could get a 30-minute incredible sweat session in 3 days a week, like, it was amazing. But I want to also let you guys know, we were waking up every single day at like 5 a.m. We'd go for a 1-hour fasted walk, and then sometime throughout the day we would complete these workouts. Again, the end goal was to be, for me, as small as I possibly could be. So I will never bash on those workouts ever. Like, they are if you're trying to get a HIIT session in, I recommend them. Like, they're amazing. But I was so focused on that scale. Like, I literally, every Monday I would weigh myself. I wasn't weighing myself every day, but every Monday I'd weigh myself, and I would just, like, cross my fingers that scale was going down. Like, just, I don't know. So for me, it was putting me into a bad mental state, because if the scale wasn't going down, I increased my cardio and was lowering my calories. And with that, you get stuck. So now I am at the end. I had lost the 20 pounds. So I did, over 16 weeks, I lost 20 pounds, which is very healthy. It's a little over a pound a week. But now I'm stuck. I am now at this point where my cardio is so high. I'm doing 7 days a week of cardio, including that's 7 days of LISS cardio, low intensity, 3 days of HIIT cardio, and sometimes we would do double days of our walks. My calories are around 1,100 calories. My cardio is through the roof. And so my body's kind of like, okay, where do you want us to go? Because we can't go anywhere. So now, fast forward, about a year, I yo-yoed with that. So I stuck with BBG, and I realized I had nowhere to go. I couldn't do it. My weight was going back up. I was not increasing my calories. I was not changing anything. If anything, I was increasing my workouts. And my weight was going back up. I felt like my weight distribution was not good. I was getting so stressed. I would restrict like no other, and then I would binge, and I'd tell myself, okay, just this one day, I'm going to binge as much as I want. And I was getting into a very, very, very bad mental headspace. But I was still sharing all this on social media. I was still proud of my transformation, and that's when we started Ashley Bynes in July of 2015, that's when we started the social media account. So I've genuinely always posted. Like, what I'm showing is what is going on. It has not always been positive. Sometimes it's been a struggle, but I felt like like this last fall, I was like, I don't really like the role model that I'm being, because I don't feel good mentally. I don't feel good physically. And also I'm 27. I want to live a long life, and I don't want to be spending it doing 2 hours of cardio a day, and and that's just the beginning of it. So in September, I reached out to a coach, Nick Tong, who I'm still currently with, and it was absolutely incredible. The first thing he said was, I don't feel comfortable putting you into a cut right now. And I was not reaching out for a bikini competition. I was genuinely looking to him for advice and for help, and saying, I am a 27-year-old woman. I have ruined my metabolism. What do I do? And every girl's fear is, okay, you're gonna have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable and potentially gaining weight. So that is when I started my reverse diet with him, and I started it with him in September. We did 5 months, and he slowly worked my calories up. So again, I can go through another video if you guys want me to explain my full reverse diet, but basically he started me off, and then over 5 months we worked up to I think I was at 50 fat, 300 grams carbs, and 170 grams protein. So for me, 300 grams carbs, like, I was the girl trying to stay under 50 grams of carbs. So it was crazy, because even as he started working me up, the weight slowly started coming off, and it's because my body was getting out of this stressful state, and it was going back into like a homeostasis. It was, the hormones were regulating, my body was relaxing, and it was starting to function properly again, like your digestion, everything. So in about January, so now I'm about three and a half months in with him, I figured, why not push myself and maybe do a bikini competition. I did a lot of research. I talked to Nick, and he said, okay, I still want a couple months reverse dieting you, and I still want to give you at least the 19-week prep, which is what we're doing, and that's kind of where we get to right now. But there is a question that somebody did ask me yesterday, and I feel like it was just worded so well, so I want to read it to you. because I do realize that what I'm doing is hard for some, especially if you've been following us from the beginning. Like, why are you doing this? And why are you, you know, trying to do a bikini competition or whatnot? So, Abby, her Instagram name is Abby_Vittur, Vittur, but she said 2 questions. What gave you inspiration to start video blogging on Insta, and how do you continue to do it? And number 2, how did you get started in bikini competing, and where can one find more about what goes into it? So I think those are awesome questions. So everything that I've just talked about, that's kind of where it got me to here. But quickly, I just want to address that so for her first question, what gave you inspiration to start video blogging on Insta, and how do you continue to do it? So she kind of was talking about how did I go from Instagram to YouTube. So I don't know about you guys, but I found YouTube, obviously when it started, but found bikini competing and all of that on YouTube about a year ago. And I appreciated the knowledge I was learning. I really liked learning about different lifts, learning about different nutrition. It's kind of how I gained this passion and this drive to go to where I'm at now. But I also, like what I just said on a couple minutes ago, I felt like I was losing a bit of myself through Instagram, because you can show a photo, but nobody really genuinely gets to know the person behind the photo. And I'm guilty of it. I look at some of these girls sometimes and I'm like, why can't I have that life? Why can't I live on the beach all the time? Why is my stomach not like that? Why are my legs not like that? And not that I body shame, but I feel like I genuinely envy them sometimes, anyways, I just realized that through my Instagram, I wanted to break down more social barriers and some filters. Like, life is very filtered. If you can filter it as much as you possibly want, and YouTube can be filtered as well, but it's one thing for me to show a transformation photo and for you guys to not know the full story behind it, or for me to be on this bikini journey and you guys really have no idea why the hell I'm doing this, or, what got me started in it. So that's why, this is a super short video, but in regards to an entire story, but I do want to touch on all of that. And so what I said to her, I said, I wanted to show the girl behind the photos. It's easy to filter a photo, not necessarily with an actual filter per se, but I can show you what I want and write what I want, as opposed to letting you truly decide if I'm someone you enjoy listening to. The camera is obviously still a form of a filter, but since I don't film my entire life or anything, but I just want to try to break that. I think I left out a few words, but you get what I'm saying. So basically, that's why I started filming for YouTube. It's a form for me, a form of documentation that I get to go look back and see what I'm doing. And I've already looked back on some of my videos, and just for workouts or for, my awkwardness on the camera or whatever it may be, it's fun to still go back and look at it. So, and like I said to her, you're not going to connect with everybody, and you're not going to connect with the story, and that's why you're watching. If you're genuinely coming back, it's because you have a connection. It's because you enjoy that person's knowledge, or that person's personality, or there's some girls that I follow and it's just their persona. When after you get done and you turn off the computer, you're like, good, I'm gonna have an awesome day. Even if their video wasn't something about positivity, it's just the fact that it was uplifting and genuine, and I don't know, everybody has personalities that they click with and that they don't. So that is part of the reason why I started YouTubing. I really want to have you guys get to know the girl behind the photos and show you my journey, and hopefully you genuinely see the ups and the downs behind everything. So that kind of addresses that question. And then her second question was how I got started into it, which I kind of just addressed with you guys. This is my first bikini competition. If you guys are just now visiting the channel, I am doing a 19-week bikini prep. I'm 13 weeks in, and I have not ever done a bikini competition before, but I'm documenting it for you guys and for myself and for the knowledge of a first-timer, I guess. And let's see what else she asked. Yeah, I think I've addressed everything. So I just want to share that with you guys. I know that I could have elaborated on every single part of that, but if there is a specific part you would like me to elaborate on, please do. I know that I get a lot of questions about what keeps me motivated with social media and why I continue to post. And I have said it in previous videos, but if I can just make a difference in one person's life, I am just so overjoyed. There are some days when I read some of these captions on Instagram, and it clicks, you know, and it's that one every so often that just clicks. And I feel like I've genuinely been in every aspect of a fitness journey when it comes to the highs, the lows, the negatives, the body shaming, the lack of self-respect, all of it. And I know some of you might be like, oh yeah, come on, whatever. But I really, like, I don't want to elaborate it in this video, but I have a lot of dark times that I've gotten past, and some incredible friends and family who have just been so supportive through all of it. So yeah, that's where I am at right now, and hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of light into where I'm at. I guess I didn't really say, my transition into lifting was partly brought on by Nick. Emma and I started getting into lifting about a year ago, but like we'd do it on like our days off from BBG. And overall, guys, I just love the physical changes I am experiencing. I love the I don't know, but I can't do cardio every single day, and I was getting myself into such an unhealthy relationship with cardio that I needed to learn how to back away from it. I am now doing cardio again, only twice a week, but it's all about, for me, it's if you've ever been there, if you've been in those dark times, things start to really weigh heavily on you, and they get scary. They really get scary when you notice, like, okay, I'm stuck in a pattern, and I have been there, and I've shared it with a few of my good friends, and they are very well aware of it, and they are checking in on me during this bikini prep to make sure I don't fall back into it. But I am just loving learning how to appreciate my body and appreciate again, yes, this is for an aesthetics. I know I said, like, oh, I was getting ready for a vacation or whatnot, but knowing that I'm doing it the quote-unquote right way, but for myself. Like, this is the first time in my life I feel like I am trying to impress myself, and that has not been easy to admit. I have definitely been somebody to spend day in and day out impressing others and trying to impress others, genuinely trying to impress others through, like, physical fitness aesthetic purposes. And this is the first time in my life where I feel like I'm trying to impress myself. I want to bring the best package I possibly can, but I am learning so much and just growing so much, and I love it. And I daily now am just like impressed with the person I am becoming, and impressed with the hardships I have overcome and my willingness to share them. I would never share my stories about endometriosis or my insecurities, or God forbid I admitted I had an insecurity. So my goal now is to impress myself. So that is where I'm at, and thank you guys so much for being supportive, asking these questions, being interested in wanting to know about my story. If there's any aspect of this that you'd like me to elaborate on, I am more than happy to. And yeah, so just kind of want to sit down with you guys and give you a little bit of a background on me. So as always, I'm so thankful for the ability to share on social media and for this platform. But I also want you guys to genuinely know that I am trying to be as real as possible, and I want to show you guys everything. So thank you so much, and yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope that this helps somebody, and if I can just touch someone along the way throughout all of this, I will be beyond ecstatic. So thank you as always, and I will see you guys in the next one.